Hi friends, welcome to part 2 of the PHP tutorial. In our last video we went over the echo command, strings, and integers, which are the two of the main types of variables and one of the most used commands. So here's a little more complicated technique. It's the idea of arrays. Now an array, A-R-R-A-Y, this is how you would make an array as a variable. So we'll just name our variable var_array. And to make an array, there's a couple different kinds of arrays, but we'll start with the simplest. So this is how you would create a blank array. This is a variable that is an array, but it's a blank array. There's nothing in it. So an array is, think of it as like a super variable. It's a variable of variables. So if we want, let me show you what I'm talking about. So we'll put can blue shoe fish, and all inside arrays, separate strings, and they're separated by just regular commas. So now there's 4 items in this array: can, blue, shoe, fish. This is just a simple array. It's not multi-dimensional, it's just one-dimensional. There's just one thing in each array. So if you don't specify a key, then this gets assigned 0, 1, 2, 3. And while we're talking about arrays, let's learn our next command. This isn't really that useful as far as website programming is concerned, but it's really good for debugging, and it's something you should know. So print_r is the function name. So you do print_r var array, and you got to actually put this in a all functions are technically supposed to be this way, I think. Like the echo is supposed to be echo words. Some let you get away with not doing it. Most people don't put parentheses around their echo. There's no point. But print_r is one of those that requires it. So, and what print_r does is just tell you what is in an array. It prints out an array. So let's take a look at what this looks like. Maybe we'll get a little better of idea of what I'm talking about. So I'll upload this. So now this is the output of print_r. 0 is assigned to can, 1 is assigned to blue, 2 is assigned to shoe, 3 is assigned to fish. So it's just the order that we put them in there. So we'll change this to simple array, and we'll create a new variable called multi-array. Now, I guess I should tell you why this number assignment is important before we get into it. When you want to call on something in an array, this is how. Let's fix this really quick. So when we echo just a regular string variable, it's just echo string. Because arrays are multi-dimensional, or not multi-dimensional, but they're not simple strings. So we can echo information that's in an array, but we can't do it like that because it doesn't know which one of these things you're talking about. And print_r will echo them all, but it doesn't know what you mean. So to specify what you mean, you need to put a square bracket on the end and the number, or the key that's associated with this letter. So this is 0, 1, 2. So simple array 2 should echo shoe. Oh, and also you should know that's how you do a comment, just 2 forward slashes. You can also do /, asterisk and asterisk backslash if you want to do multiple line comment. Just something to know. You should comment, put comments in your code. You can put it anywhere at the end of pretty much anything, even. And it's also helpful when you're actually writing code so that way you don't have to erase the lines, but they're not going to get used because they're just a comment. So let's make sure this is right. 2, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. And remember, computers always start with 0 when they're counting stuff, so PHP is no exception. So that's a little more usable. Well, that's a little more useful in terms of what we're going to do with it. So that way you're not just, it says array, like you're not going to have a website that just says array and then numbers and arrows pointing to words. So let me show you the next kind of array. It's called a multi-dimensional array. We'll just make a variable called multi-array. And again, this is how you make a blank array. But if we want to assign things other than 0 through 3, you can use anything. You can use different numbers if you want. You could do 22 can. And this is the way you specify that is equal sign arrow. So it's just like a little double line arrow. So this says when we do multi. So that's just like we had with the simple array, but so when I call 22, I want can to come back. Actually, we have to put this below, or else it's not going to work. So this would give us can. We can mix and match. We can do all kinds of stuff. It can also be a string. It doesn't have to just be a number. So food can point to container. So 22 will give us can, food will give us container. And because this is a string, you need to put it inside of quotes. Strings always go in double quotes. Not double quotes, but inside of quotes. Only numbers are allowed to just appear, and variables, obviously. And we'll just add 2 more just to, make everything even Steven. And we'll do another number one. 111 equals 222. And you can use, you don't have to only use strings. You can use variables. You can actually even use other arrays. So you can have an array inside of an array, but that gets kind of complicated. So, all right, let's comment that out and bring back the print r for our multi-dimensional array, just so you can see what it looks like in comparison to the simple array. So we'll save that, and all this is inside the the PHP tags. You really don't need these. You can just have just PHP in there if you want, but I don't know. I'm a stickler for it, so we'll upload that, and now you can see this is called the key. This is the value. So 22 gives us can, food, container, pork, scissors, 111, 222. And that's, we can call the array using echo food. So that should give us container. You get the idea. Hopefully you get the idea. How is this useful? Why is this useful? We'll see later on as we're processing lots of information. And when you get to loops, it's very important. But right now, it's just important that you understand the concept. So now you know the three main kinds of variables: string, which are these little bits; integer, which are just numbers; and arrays, which contain strings and integers. So now that you got that, we'll move on to the next step. Hopefully you get it, and we'll start doing some cool stuff. Alright, see you in the next one.